Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about a very interesting topic, and it's on transmutation and suppression. First, I wanted to lead you guys in a simple breathing exercise to rid the body and blood of carbon dioxide and um, calm our minds a little bit. All right, so now I wanted to lead us in a breathing exercise to decarbonize the blood and to make us a little more calm. So first we want to get in the correct posture. So we're going to put our hands at the juncture between the thighs and abdomen, or you can put them a little bit further down the thigh if you'd like, or you can just simply fold your hands and put them in your lap, just sitting up straight with the spine erect. I have pretty long arms, so right at this juncture can be a little bit uncomfortable at times. So sometimes I make a little pocket with my shirt, put them in, or just put it a little bit further down, even upturn. But so now we want to put our chest out and our shoulders back. We want to sit with our chin parallel to the ground. We close our eyes and we can gently focus at the point between the eyebrows, the center of concentration, of willpower, and of divine perception. And we do not want to strain. In time, this gaze will become automatic if you meditate more frequently. But most importantly, you just want to have your attention focused at this point. And when done correctly, it's actually very beneficial to the eyesight. Once again, to make sure we're not straining. You can also keep your eyes half closed, focused at that point. Oftentimes, when we meditate, the gaze can drop down again. And so holding this posture with our abdomen drawn in comfortably, chest out, shoulders back, chin parallel to the ground, feet flat on the ground in front of you. Keeping the spine erect, and once we have that, we can just relax while keeping the posture. Just release all tension in the body and relax. Now we'll do the breathing exercise. So first, I'll explain it to you, and then we can do it together. And so we are going to inhale deeply through the nose, and then we're going to tense the whole body, and we're going to hold the breath and the tension. We're going to tense the body until we're vibrating with tension. If you have any weak body parts, feel free to tense a little bit lighter. It should be comfortable to you. And so we're going to hold the breath and attention to a count of 6. And then we're going to double exhale through the mouth in a double exhalation. One short, one long. So it'll sound like like that. We'll do that 3 times. So now let us do it together. Inhale and tense. Hold. Double exhale, relax. Inhale intense. Hold. Double exhale, relax. Inhale intense. Hold. Double exhale, relax. One final time without tension. Inhale. Hold. Double exhale, relax. So I hope you are all feeling a little more relaxed. You can do that breathing exercise whenever you just need a little more calmness in your life. Oftentimes we are holding tension in parts of our body, so just being conscious of our inner body and, relaxing. And that's something I just love about meditation, is you just become more conscious of your internal world, your thoughts, how you're feeling, etc. So today I wanted to talk about a very interesting and easily misunderstood topic, and that's transmutation and suppression. So this is a very important skill to learn in life, because oftentimes people are trying to change their lives for the better, but we can have this internal critic that wants change in our lives, but we can beat ourselves up and we can be hard on ourselves and think, I shouldn't have this thought, or I shouldn't be moody or have this mood. And I like to take a more compassionate approach, in that, yes, it's okay to have moods and undesirable thoughts. Like, we shouldn't be afraid to have them. But at the same time, it can be very unpleasant, and no one likes to be miserable or unhappy. And so learning to transmute is a valuable skill, and it's a very big part of the yogic path. And I just wanted to read something from Paramahansa Yogananda, because it is a topic that, as I said, can be easily misunderstood. And even in my own life, originally it was a little bit difficult for me to understand. So this is from the book Where There Is Light. And someone asked Paramahansa Yogananda the question, aren't your teachings about controlling the emotions dangerous? A student asked. Many psychologists claim that suppression leads to mental maladjustments and even to physical illness. Paramahansa Yogananda replied, suppression is harmful. Holding the thought that you want something but doing nothing constructive to get it. Self-control is beneficial. Patiently replacing wrong thoughts by right ones. Changing reprehensible actions to helpful ones. Those who dwell on evil hurt themselves. Men who fill their minds with wisdom and their lives with constructive activities spare themselves ignoble suffering. Let's just take a moment to think about that quote. We'll take about 15 seconds and just focus on that. And so I believe that gives us a very important key, is that we're doing something to counteract. We're not just beating ourselves up and staying stuck, but we're taking action, doing something about it. And one of the best actions we can do is meditation and practicing stillness. Because when you practice that stillness, you return to calmness, to a sense of centeredness. And so you find you have more self-control throughout the day when emotions are, whether it's anger or just any negative emotion, jealousy, fear, worry, any of that, when that starts to come up, you have this calm center of yourself, this awareness, and it just gives you more of a conscious choice. In the matters. If you, for example, with anger, if something frustrates you, for example, I was walking my dog the other day and he was smelling everything. And I was getting a little bit impatient. I was ready to go. And so a frustration came up, the sense of like frustration, and I just wanted to like yank him and be like, come on, bear. But in that moment, I caught myself and just took a deep breath. And realized it wouldn't be helpful at all to have that frustration. So I caught myself. And I love having a dog because it's a great practice of just giving love to another creature, another being. And dogs can bark. They have various needs and stuff, and so it's just a great practice. And yeah, dogs are just full of so much love too. So, but yeah, so there's affirmations you can use. There's meditation, and just filling our minds with wisdom. I read from this book, Where There's Light. This is a really great book. Insight and inspiration for meeting life's challenges. Meditation, pranayama, really strikes at the roots of these, And also, just acceptance. I love the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And so if you find yourself in a undesirable situation, you can take action to change that situation. yeah, at the same time, you want to, accept the things you cannot change and have courage to change the things you can. And so that's why I love the serenity prayer. And yeah, if you find yourself in a situation that's not desirable, by all means, you can try to change that situation. But also, I found in my experience, a lot of the times it can just be our thoughts about it, the situation. And so you may not always be able to change the situation, um, but you can always change your thoughts. And, when you focus on the good in people and situations, the strength is taken away from evil and inharmonious events. And oftentimes that will change the situation, change the person you're dealing with. It'll just make things a lot better for you. And so recognizing you can always change your thoughts and your focus, and you can change the situation as well. That may take a little more time and effort. But yeah, by all means, if it's not a good situation, you can go ahead and change it too. So I hope this video helped you. I hope you liked the breathing exercise, and I hope I was able to shed a little more light on the topic of transmutation and suppression. One part of the topic I forgot to mention actually is when it comes to our sexuality. That can be a big area of suppression in people's lives because, as a society, oftentimes we shame our sexuality and make it very secretive and stuff like that. And Freud, I believe, and Carl Jung, the Swiss psychologist, very influential people, have made it a lot less taboo to talk about these things, which I believe is a good thing, because there often is a sense of suppression around it. And I firmly believe that suppression, sometimes temporarily when it comes to emotions or these feelings, a little bit of self-control and suppression may not be a bad thing, but long term we need techniques and strategies to transmute. And one affirmation I like, if you are trying to channel this creative energy into business or passion projects, or you just want to have more peace, joy, and love in your life, or just physical strength, if you're trying to build strength, these are all ways that you can transmute this force. So when you feel the sexual, creative energy, you can do some push-ups, pull-ups, just any type of vigorous exercise, because there's much strength in it. And yeah, transmuting into muscular energy is one way you can do it. You can also think about the things that you are most excited about, subjects that you're most interested in your life, and you can go deep into creative thinking and solve your most difficult problems and create some amazing things. You can also meditate, and there's an affirmation you can use. So again, focusing the point between the eyebrows, you just breathe in and out deeply, slowly, and you affirm mentally, I will transmute this force into spiritual energy, turning it Godwards to create spirituality. And just by breathing, it can help deep breathing. And you can just keep affirming that, and then just meditate on peace, on joy. And so I hope that gives you some ways to transmute that energy. And, also eating healthy, just healthful living helps a lot too. So if you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Peace.